What up, YouTube? It is your boy, All About The Sneakerz, back with another video for you guys. Now today, we will be going over my top 10 sneaker pickups for the year 2024. Now with that said, guys, this does include the sneaker of the year. All of these sneakers will be listed in numerical order, starting from number 10 to number 1. Now guys, one thing I do want to mention is I'm not going to be pulling out sneakers. I have a ton of sneakers. I'm going to do this video just like I did last year and show you guys images. So hopefully that doesn't deter you from the video, but these sneakers are in my collection. These are pickups. I just have so many sneakers to go through that I don't feel like really pulling all of these out. It's a lot of work. I just want to get the video to you guys, so I appreciate you once again for tuning in and rocking with your boy. Now, if you guys have watched the channel as well as a lot of other sneaker YouTubers, you know this is a traditional thing that a lot of people do. And I've been doing it ever since I started YouTube 5 years ago. Recently, we just hit the 5-year mark. Big ups. Being on YouTube for 5 years. Thanks to you guys keeping the channel going, keeping me motivated. I'm going to continue to bring this type of content to you guys in the coming years, so stay tuned. But I do appreciate you for tuning in and rocking out with your boy on this video. I would also like to say Happy New Year's to you guys. This is probably the last video that I do for the year. Although I do have a few recent pickups that I did not get the review up for. I will go ahead and try to do those as well. So maybe I'll get those completed in 2024. If not, maybe 2025, we'll see. But as far as the topic of the day, top 10 sneaker pickups for me in 2024. This is my personal preference, guys. Not everyone's list is gonna be identical. All the sneakers that I love, that I picked up this year for whatever reason, all hype aside. Although some of the sneakers on my list may have a little bit of hype to them, that is not the deciding factor for me. However, I would like to know you guys' top 10 sneaker pickups of the year as well as your sneaker of the year. Comment below your top 10 sneaker pickup list for 2024. It's up to you if you want to put those in numerical order, or you can just do it however, your personal preference. I don't care, but I do want to see those comments below, guys, as that does also help the algorithm, and I just like to interact with you guys in general. Now, I don't want to drag this video out, guys, but if you're new to the channel or if you're not, make sure you smash that like, subscribe, and share button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on future release videos. Now, I think it is worth mentioning that I will have some honorable mentions in this video. I'm going to keep it honest with you guys. It's really tough to pick 10 sneakers when I have a slew of sneakers, and all of them I love. They're all in the collection. So I did have to pay homage or show recognition to those sneakers that didn't make the cut, but I think are dope enough to be in this top 10 lineup as well. But unfortunately, I could only pick 10. However, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, guys, coming in at number 10 is going to be no other than the Air Jordan 12 Soulfly Cafecito. Very, very clean sneaker. So glad to have this one in the collection. Now, this is a sneaker that I almost did not pick up. I'll be quite honest with you, I wasn't really feeling it based off of images, but after getting the sneaker in hand, very, very dope sneaker. I love the earth tone brown colors of the sneaker. Also that slight off-white upper with the crackled leather. I'm very big on that crackled leather look. I know a lot of people don't like that, but for me, that is one of the deciding factors for me copping this sneaker. Now, in terms of the mud guard, that kind of threw me off initially. The fact that it was smooth and it did not have that basketball-like texture. But again, after getting these in hand, it does have a slight texture to it. But for the most part, it is a smoother piece of leather, and I did get a lot after seeing it in hand. Clean sneaker. But what really made me decide to put these sneakers in my top 10 pickups is the presentation. The presentation is awesome. You get that green plastic sheet that goes over the box. The box is just chromatic like silver all over, and then you get that Cafecito bag inside. And of course, with this being a collab, you get all of the different accents on the sneaker that you typically don't get on all other Air Jordan 12. Soulfly text going up and down the sneaker and the co-branding in general. But hey man, very clean sneaker. Had to bring this one in the top 10. Again, at number 12, the Air Jordan 12 Soulfly Cafecito. All right, guys, coming in at number 9. I think this one was almost forgotten. I don't know if it'll show up on anyone's top 10 list, but it did show up on mine. That is no other than the Air Jordan 4 Industrial Blue, better known as the Military Blue, an OG iconic sneaker. So glad to have this one in the collection. Now, the reason why this sneaker did make the cut is because it is that OG classic sneaker I've never had. I wasn't a big fan of prior to owning this sneaker. Never saw it in person or anything like that. But after getting it in hand, it's another one that I was just blown away by. And again, paying homage to the Air Jordan 4, which is my favorite silhouette of all time. And to have that OG with the Nike Air in the back, and that military blue is just dope. The material's great, color scheme, all of that stuff is just a super duper clean sneaker, and I was blown away when I got it, and therefore that one did have to make the cut. Again, coming in at number 9, the Air Jordan 4 Industrial Blue, better known as military blue. Coming in at number 8 is no other than the Air Jordan 9 Powder Blue, another OG sneaker. Very, very clean. Love this sneaker. I love the accents of the Air Jordan 9 model. Can't go wrong with that powder blue color. Now, some people may think university blue, baby blue, all of those different things, Carolina blue, whatever you want to call it, but this one is technically powder blue, and I feel like it does have a little bit more of a vibrant pop of blue to it than a typical university blue, and that trim going around the leather cuts is what set it off for me. Very, very clean sneaker. Love the Air Jordan 9 silhouette. Not everyone's favorite, but this is another OG. Now, one thing people did not like about this sneaker is it was so OG that they did not put the 23 in the back. I think a lot of people were accustomed to the retro pair that had 23 in the back and not realizing this is the one pair of Air Jordan 9s that they did not put the number in the back. But I don't have a problem with it. I think it's really, really dope to give us that true original and leaving that accent off, since that is how it originally came. Very dope in my opinion. Again, glad to have this sneaker. I think a lot of people slept on this one, but for the most part, it started kind of disappearing after a while. Once again, coming in at number 8. All right, guys, coming in at number 7. Can you guess it? I've already given you a 12, a 4, a 9, and the next silhouette, again at number 7, is an Air Jordan model, no other than the Air Jordan 1 First in Flight. Now, guys, this is a big time sleeper, as this sneaker is still sitting in my size 10, 11.5 in women's, on tons of different sites. I don't understand what is really going on with this sneaker and why it is so downplayed, but it's a very clean, dope sneaker. When I got it, it was one that I was just like, hey man, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was going to end up in my top 10. I love the Air Jordan 1. A lot of people were starting to kind of zone out away from it, but for me, it's always going to be a staple. It's the number 1 sneaker that I have in my collection in terms of volume, or quantity should I say, and therefore, hey man, this is the one for me. Number 1 Air Jordan 1 of the year for me. Clean as heck. Had to have it in the collection. I love the university blue on the sneaker with the yellow hits. Typically, I'm not a blue and yellow kind of fan, but it works perfect for this one with that obsidian blue as well. You get that special insole that kind of gives me collab-like vibes. You also get that on the tissue paper when you open the box. Just clean, clean, clean in my opinion. Now, I think one of the reasons this sneaker did not get the respect that it deserved is because a lot of men could not get this sneaker, as this is a women's sneaker, quote unquote, and it did not come in extended sizes. Therefore, a lot of guys could not get this one. The ladies just kind of, I guess, downplayed the sneaker, unfortunately, but that happens with a lot of women's releases, as the Air Jordan lineup truly started out as a men's lineup. And to show equality, of course, Nike does make women's sneakers, which is no problem at all. So glad that they do this for the ladies, but we gotta keep it a stack. Drop these women's pairs and do not make them in extended sizes. Unfortunately, a lot of them tend to sit heavily. Men's sizes are usually gone in no time, but again, this one, big sleeper. I wanna say I looked at a site recently and it still had a full-size run of these, so why they're not showing up in outlets, I have no idea, but there are pairs still available. But very, very clean sneaker that does not downplay it for me. Again, all hype aside, I'm copping what I like, forgetting the hype. Had to have this one in the collection. So once again, coming in at number 7 is the Air Jordan 1 First in Flight. All right, guys, coming in at number 6 is another Air Jordan silhouette. Just gonna keep it a bug. Majority of my top 10 are Air Jordan pickups. I picked up a lot of Air Jordans. That is my favorite lineup of sneakers in terms of signature shoes. They're the sneakers that I always wanted as a kid and never could get. So hey, it is what it is. You're gonna see a lot of those in my top 10s, probably from here on out. However, again, coming in at number 6 is no other than the Air Jordan 11 Space Jam Low. Now, guys, the Space Jam is my favorite Air Jordan 11, next to the Air Jordan 11 Bread. Bread being number 1, Space Jam number 2, but sometimes I don't really know where to put those, so it's almost a tie, in my opinion. Now, this isn't the original mid-top version. This is the low version. I don't have the mid-top version. Hopefully, they re-release that sometime soon, but for now, I'll take what I can get, and that's the low version. So this one had to come in the lineup. I'm a sucker for patent leather. I'm a sucker for black. I love the blue hits on this sneaker. It is just clean as can be. This one kind of flew off the racks, not gonna lie. When the sneaker dropped, people were kind of going after this one. So hey, it did have some demand. I think this is another one that may not show up in anyone else's top 10, but I'm not gonna let it fall under the radar. This was one that I was glad to get in the collection. Again, one of my favorites, and I come from that era of Space Jam, and I really love how they put Jordan Jam across the tongue. If you guys didn't know, that is how the original pair came, so a OG enough for me, digging it a lot. But once again, coming in at number 6 is the Air Jordan 11 Low Space Jam. All right guys, we're halfway through this one with the number 5 sneaker being the Nike Jai 2 Nightmare. Yes, indeed, guys. A very clean sneaker. So glad to pick this one up and have it in the collection. I almost passed on this sneaker and I just kept thinking, hey man, it's just too clean for me to pass on. Had to have it. Now, this is my only non-Air Jordan. I'm just gonna kind of spoiler alert you guys. Only non-Air Jordan sneaker that did make the cut. Big ups to Ja, man. Clean sneaker. You did your thing on this one. But guys, one of the reasons this one did make the cut is the color scheme. This sneaker resembling something that you guys may have not even thought of. Some people may have, but this sneaker was themed or resembled after Michael Jackson Thriller. Now, Ja used to dress up as Michael Jackson and kind of put on a show for his family at family events, and he really liked Thriller a lot, so that is what inspired this one. As you can see, all of the accents, the hands coming up from the grave, the glowing cat eye, yeah, the vampire fang teeth on the little emblem on the laces, and of course that Michael Jackson shiny red jacket. Yeah, you can just see it looking at this sneaker if you put your mind into it, and that one sold me, man. That had to come in my top 10. Not to mention I'm a sucker for Halloween themed sneakers. Came in right on time. However, again, at number 5, that is no other than the Nike Jai 2 Nightmare. All right, guys, we're on the downhill slope. Now, coming in at number 4 is no other than the Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Velvet Brown and Dark Mocha. Now, I don't know if this sneaker made anyone else's top 10, but the reason why this sneaker made my top 10, for one, I really do love brown sneakers. I have a lot of brown sneakers in my collection. I love all type colors, earth tone colors, and I used to not when I was younger, but the older I get, the more I really like it. If it has to do with coffee, mocha, latte, all of that stuff, hot chocolate, I'm copping it, I'm digging it. So this was one that I really did want in the collection. But main reason why this one did make the cut is because this is the first Travis Scott 1 Low with the backward swoosh that I have in the collection. Now, all hype aside, I can care less about resale and all of that, but being a sneaker collector, you can't just have all mediocre sneakers in the collection. You gotta have a little bit of something that has a demand or that does have a little bit of hype behind it, because that is just a part of the sneaker community. It's a highly sought after collab sneaker, and who doesn't want a Travis Scott in their collection if you're a big time sneaker collector? Maybe not everyone, but for me, it's something that I do want. I don't have to have every single pair, but I do want at least one pair just to say I have one. This is that one for me. It's the first one that I got a dub on. Well, not personally, because my account, they gave me a big L for it, but big ups to Bae because she did hit on this one. Now, again, love how chocolate the sneaker is, just all over, having those nice suede materials, nice leather materials, the Cactus Jack logo, everything that just screams Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low. Hey man, again, had to have this one in the collection, loving it a lot. However, once again, coming in at number 4 is the Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Velvet Brown and Dark Mocha. All right guys, now coming in at number 3, top 3, we're there. Can you guys guess it? Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't, but that is no other than the Air Jordan 4 Fear. Now guys, I did do a video of this as being the sleeper of the year, but it is my top 3 pickup of the year. I love this sneaker to death. I actually doubled up on it. I never had the original pair, never even really knew about the Fear pack until recently, but I'm a sucker for the Air Jordan 4. Again, my favorite silhouette of all time. I love black, I love gray, I love speckle paint, I love everything about this sneaker. The hit of red in the air bubble. The leather materials are immaculate on this sneaker, man. I dig it a lot. My personal preference, maybe not for everyone, but I don't care how much the sneaker sat around. It is clean as heck, and it had to make it in my top 10 sneaker pickups of 2024. Hey man, I'm still excited about this sneaker. I pull it out time to time and just all over it. Now this sneaker is starting to dry up at some retail stores, so hey, if you're into this one, go ahead and grab it while you can. It won't be lasting too much longer, and I'm willing to bet this is gonna be one of those ones that may shoot up down the line. How in the heck did that happen, and why didn't I grab as many pairs as I could while I could? We'll see how it goes. I really could care less, but it is in my collection and it's here to stay. Again, coming in at number 3, no other than the Air Jordan 4 Fear, better known as sleeper of the year for me. All right guys, we're down to the last 2. Coming in at number 2 is no other than the Air Jordan 4 Wet Cement, better known as Paris. Hey man, this sneaker right here, clean as heck. It is a monochromatic sneaker, but all over gray, different hues of gray, a little bit of cracked leather on it, as well as what I would consider premium leather on this this sneaker. You get a little bit of unorthodox netting as it has been removed, and it has sort of that grid-like pattern where the netting would have been. That may have deterred a lot of people from this sneaker, but I'm gonna be honest with you, this sneaker did not stick around at all. This thing was gone like the wind. I actually had a few people reach out to me, hey man, where can I get those? Every time they restock, they're just gone. I can't seem to get my hands on it. Hey man, fire sneaker. I think a lot of people may have forgot about this one as well, as it may not make some people's top 10, but I'm gonna give it the credit it's due. Back when the Olympics was running, everyone was talking about this Air Jordan 4 Paris. Well, Nike did end up naming these the Wet Cement, but they still do have that dub name, Paris, as this sneaker does resemble the streets of Paris, and that was the inspiration behind this sneaker. But hey man, I'm a sucker for all that gray. This one is fire, hands down. Had to come in my top 10. Alright guys, once again, coming in at number 2 is the Air Jordan 4 Wet Cement, better known as Paris Olympic, or just Paris. Alright guys, we are down to the number 1 sneaker, number 1 pickup for me in 2024. I'm pretty sure some of you guys can guess it. Now, this one is probably going to be a lot of people's number 1, just going to be quite frank, but that is no other than the Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. Hey man, my favorite sneaker of all time, the Air Jordan 4 Bread. There's no way in heck this one wasn't making number 1. Now, I did get the 2019 pair that had the nubuck on it, just like the original, but for some reason, I'm gonna be quite frank, I like this one better. And I never would thought I'd say that about my favorite sneaker of all time, but the shape on this one compared to the 2019 pair, it just matches to the T of the OG in my opinion, or as close as Nike is gonna get it, or seem to have gotten it so far. So hey, I'm rocking with it, but that leather is so nice on the sneaker. It is actually an upgrade in my opinion, and I feel like with OG sneakers, we get so used to how the original was, not really giving credit that these sneakers can be enhanced and upgraded with better materials and better aesthetics in general, and I feel like this is one that really hits that point. If you think about it, all of the OG Air Jordan 4s did come with leather on them, except for the black cement, better known as bread. The military blue, fire red, and white cement all had leather on it, so why would this one not still look just as good with black leather? Y'all know it looks good. That's why this sneaker didn't sit around at all. This thing was gone like the wind, tough to get unless you put in your footwork, but if you try to come back weeks down the line and get this sneaker, it wasn't happening, not at retail. But anyways, that just shows how dope the sneaker is, how high the demand was for it being that OG sneaker, and I've heard a lot of people say the exact same thing that I say about the sneaker. It is technically better than the original in my opinion. But if you're a fan of the nubuck, which I am as well, I like both of them. And hey, kudos to you, nothing wrong with that, but hey man, this Bread Reimagined, number 1 sneaker of the year for me. So once again, as I just stated, the number 1 sneaker of the year, number 1 in my lineup, Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. Now that we have that out the way guys, I do have 5 honorable mentions that I do want to speak on that really would have made this cut. If I could have just had extra space to cram them in, I sure in heck would have. Now guys, these are in no particular order, being that they are the honorable mentions, but there are again 5 of them, starting with the Air Jordan 14 Black Toe. That is the second Air Jordan that I ever picked up in life from my first job in high school, and so this one has a nostalgia as well as sentimental value for your boy. So hey, this one not making a cut kind of hurts, but even though it did bring back those nostalgic vibes and sentimental vibes when I opened the box, unfortunately it did not top what some of the other sneakers did when I picked them up, so unfortunately this one did not make the cut. All right guys, another one is the Air Jordan 9 Olive. I love that sneaker, never had it, but it is an OG 9. Again, love the 9 and those earth tone colors. Even though it's an olive, it kind of gives me mocha vibes. So hey man, that one just fit for your boy. Wish I could have fit this one in the top 10 as well, but honorable mention, Air Jordan 9 Olive. All right, another one is another OG sneaker. As you can see, these are OG Air Jordans that unfortunately didn't make the cut, but did make this honorable mention, and that is no other than the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blue. This one was a recent pickup for a lot of people. I'm sure it probably made some people's cut. It is probably my least favorite Air Jordan 11 out of the original lineup, but after getting this sneaker in hand, I have a lot more respect for this sneaker. I can't necessarily say it's at the bottom anymore after seeing it, but it's somewhere right along the lines with the cool gray. Love the university blue on it, and I wish I could have fit it in my top 10 pickups. All right, and the last honorable mention, guys, is no other than the Air Jordan 4 Alma Manere while you were sleeping. Very, very clean sneaker. Again, this is a women's sneaker, but this one did come in extended sizes, so a lot of guys were able to get it. They had a whole lineup of these sneakers ranging from an Air Max to Air Jordan 3 all the way down to a Converse. So it was just a pack for the 10th anniversary of I'm Near, and I think that is a very dope touch. The presentation on this one was immaculate. I love it, especially that box, and the materials on the sneaker super duper dope. Wish I could have fit that one in as well, but I thought I mentioned the honorable mentions to you guys. Really and truly, I could have did a top 20 and they would have just fit right in that category, but it is what it is. All right guys, so this is a quick recording. I'm adding this into the video because I actually forgot to mention this sneaker. The Air Jordan 1 Low Mocha is the 5th honorable mention. As you guys noticed in the video, I only did 4 honorable mentions. My apologies for that, but again, the Air Jordan 1 Low Mocha, it was really one of those sneakers that I wanted because I missed out on the Mocha 1 High, and the low was just a consolation prize for that sneaker, not to deter it or undermine it per se, but it is a very clean sneaker as well, so glad to get that one in the collection. That one was a big sleeper, but not for your boy. I had to go ahead and pick that one up in replacement for missing out on the Air Jordan 1 High OG Mocha. But I just wanted to go ahead and throw this in here, guys, for you all. And really and truly, after hitting on the Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Velvet Brown and Dark Mocha, that kind of is what bumped this one out of the top 10. However, back to our regularly scheduled program. So guys, now that that is out the way, comment below. Let me know what you guys think about my top 10 sneaker pickups of the year for 2024, and comment with yours as well, as I will be in the comments responding. I'm always in the comments responding. You guys know if you rock with your boy, because I rock with you guys 1000%. Now, once again, I do want to say Happy New Year to all of you, and I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I do wish you guys a prosperous 2025, as we do have a lot of sneakers coming. Therefore, we will have a lot of content coming as well, as we're on that road to 5K. Hopefully we can hit that in 2025. I do appreciate you guys for getting the channel to the 4K. Again, if you're new to the channel, or if you're not, make sure you smash that like, subscribe, and share button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on future release videos. However, guys, that is all I have for you all today on this episode. I do appreciate you all for tuning in and rocking with your boy. As you know, I rock with you guys 1000%. Again, that is all I have for you guys today on this episode. Until the next episode, keep keeping it all about the sneakers. Once again, it is your boy, All About The Sneakerz, signing off. Until the next episode, I will catch you guys later. Salute, I'm out.